Hello and welcome to a review of a deck that I previously reviewed, but the video was awful and the review wasn't as good as I try to make now. Today we have here this Technics RS-T80R. As you can see, it's a double cassette deck, and I've said many times that double cassette decks weren't as good, as gorgeous, as expensive as single cassette decks, but there are some exceptions or some notable mentions, and this is one of them. This deck was actually more expensive than any two-head Nakamichi deck, so that makes this an interesting deck. This deck, the first thing to notice when you analyze a double cassette decks is that if both cassettes can record, and here we have this feature, both cassettes feature a recording circuitry and head, so both can record, both are auto reverse, both have metal capabilities. We see that by just removing one cassette and watching as the lights of the tape. You can see here, when there's no tape, the deck thinks it has a metal tape. Here we have a normal tape, and here we have a chrome tape, and those are the first features that one might see to check how good a double cassette deck is. But then there's this one that is very special, because it has DBX as well as Dolby BNC noise reduction. And DBX was a feature, a noise reduction system that didn't live for long. It was moderately short-lived, and it also was only present in medium to high quality cassettes. Even special thing is that also it seems to me that DBX was made or appeared more in two-head cassettes, and not as much as I would think in three-head cassettes, in three-head cassette decks. But nonetheless, that was a feature reserved mostly for single cassettes. But here we have this example. So this is quite rare. So you've seen also some features. Mechanism has this, the deck has this front panel, which is really nice, not very tall, and these buttons have a different touch. They are micro switches inside. And they have this special feel that is really appealing. It's nice. And we have in this deck music search function that you can use to fast forward the next track. So when I press play, the deck fast forwards while also the heads are listening to the tape. It finds the track, and then it starts playing on its own. It found a new track and started playing. This is also special features. I've seen lots of three-head deck, even from this era, that don't have this feature. There's only one counter for this deck, which is as of now not working. I have to put a new belt for it. We have here the phone connectors, eject, the timer function, and the interesting part comes here in the right place, where you can see there are many buttons. These control the auto reverse mechanism or function, but as you can see there are 4 buttons. Usually you have 3, where you select no auto reverse, one side auto reverse, then place another side and stops, or continuous auto reverse. and this is made for playback and recording also. But we have here a fourth button. In this button you combine the two decks, so you can play, and when it reaches the end, the other deck starts playing. So you have a longer play time by using this button. You can use this function also when recording, so it will start recording in one tape, and when it ends the tape, it will start recording in the other take. But when you finish recording with this deck, you will go back to record continuously with this deck. This is a function that is in the brochure, in the manual, is sold as useful for recording programs from the radio, and you can continuously record, and when you stop you have the last at least 3 hours maybe, because you can put 90 minutes tapes here. This is what these buttons do. And then this is the special function editing. This deck actually has, you can record in both sides with both mechanisms, with both decks. Then the deck has two modes. With this mode, you're supposed to copy from one tape to another tape, and that's called here editing. In this deck you can press one button, it will start playing in this deck first, and then recording with this one, with one single press of this button. Well, I think this was the one that was recording. I haven't seen which one had the recording LEDs on, but nonetheless you can get what I was trying to say. Let's do it again. Let's see which starts first and second. Yeah, this starts first and records. Okay, if you do that, you can select the speed of the copying, and here you have a nice LED which can only show the number 2. So if you press the button, you will copy twice the speed. Let's try it. There we go. You can see the directions are opposite because that's how I left them. That's it. And this special button, you see, DBX wasn't very popular at the time. So maybe you would use this cassette deck to make a copy of one cassette recorded with DBX, but maybe you didn't want the copy to have DBX recorded on it. You wanted just a normal copy with normal sound. Then you have this function to play back the tape and apply the DBX play circuitry and signal treatment, and get a normal signal and then record the normal signal here, so you have a normal tape. Then another special function is this blank skip. I haven't prepared a proper demonstration, but it's easy. When you press this button and you are copying, if the deck detects there's a blank space on the playback tape, then it pauses the recording tape, so any blanks are not recorded, and you can save some space if you happen to have a tape with blanks that would waste tape length. And then, well, this is easy, the noise reduction. You have the 4 buttons. Back in time when I was a kid and loved decks, then this was heaven for me. I mean, this was one of the first things I saw, I watched, I looked for in a deck, was if it had Dolby C and also DBX. And I still like to have DBX on one deck, even though I'm going to sell it. These are the... I'm going to record something just to show you the nice LEDs. Let's go with it. I find them quite nice and beautiful. So let's record with both decks. One. Why can't I seem I can't record with this one? I think there was a special function to start recording on both decks at the same time. This one is recording. Oh, okay. Maybe I can record. I can. Okay, looks like I can record both decks. I don't know why. I'm recording with this one. Can I? Okay, I'm recording. Because I have to put parallel recording. That's it. If I press parallel recording, then I can record with both decks. One and another. That's how it's done. I'm recording with both decks because I had selected series recording. So when the first deck stopped, the second would start recording. Now let's go to see the internals. You see this deck, I thought it would be a bit more complicated. Even though it's still complicated, it has a big motherboard. This seems to be the recording circuitry, and this is the Dolby board. I don't know if it's also the DBX board. You see, it has to be able to record and play back both decks at any time, and that's why I thought it would have a lot more components, but it's quite controlled. There's a mess with cables, of course. I've disassembled it many times, and the cables are not properly knotted, so are free to go from everywhere to anywhere. And these are the mechanisms, which maybe I will record them in a separate video, and you will see them. But this recording stops here. Thanks for watching. So here is the mechanism, and this mechanism has one problem, which is easy to detect when we put the tape to be played. We press play in the direction. You can hear squeaking noise, which is not present if we change directions. Let's play in the other direction. This is silent. And this happens also in the other deck, in this one. So both decks suffer from the same disease. And the problem is here. These Technics decks have problems in some gears. Over the time they degrade and break. And I don't really know if this one has the same gear or with a similar material than other Technics decks like the TR-474, which is famous for failing completely with a gear that degrades and breaks a lot. But nonetheless, this one has this problem, this particular problem. It can still play tapes, but you can't expect it to live much longer. So I've been trying to get to the broken gear, and so far I removed the pinch rollers. This is in this deck. I removed the head block, which is, I'm going to show it to you. This is the head, this is the block. and the auto reverse works by moving this lever. It's quite hard to move. It looks like there are strong springs inside. And then we get to this point. And here, this top metal plate, that is the main metal plate, can be moved up and down, you see, but it stops right here. And that's because this metal plate is attached to this one, and in turn this one is attached to the lower one, and I can't release it. It should be somehow pushed up and then freed from this. I've also removed this plastic part that goes through this hole, and this the one that moves right and left this hole, these two pieces together, and I can't move this up. I don't know how to release any other part that can be anywhere. I don't know how to do it. If I could remove this, maybe then this could be moved to the right and get free, and this whole part will go this way, and this plastic would get the top of this hole, and also this part would be some millimeters lower, and you could release it. It's not possible.